Houston movement. Joining me now is Amy Price, Sherry Dorr, and Jamin Stocker. And all of you are involved in the Occupy Houston movement. Why, number one, did you get involved in the movement, and where do we go from there? We can just...
I ran for city council this last election cycle, and my campaign manager told me, go to this meeting. And I went to this meeting, and it turned out to be the very first planning meeting for Occupy Houston, and my heart was absolutely in it from that point on.
Sherry, why did you get involved?
I'm a humanitarian just by nature, so when the Occupy Wall Street first bloomed, I quickly got onto Google and found that Occupy Houston was in their infancy, having meetings. This is pre-October 6th. I'm involved because I just think that there are a lot of hardworking people that haven't been given a fair shake. We do have the 99% against the 1%, and I just see that there's a lot of inequalities in America. So once I saw that, we had an Occupy Houston, I jumped on board immediately.
Jamin, why did you get involved?
Well, I've done a little bit of activist work before I got involved with Occupy Houston, and I sort of developed a business plan and kind of done what society asks of me in order to be a success in life, and it fell through. So when I knew that something was available to where I can actually really work to reconstruct the way society works, I was totally on board.
How realistic is that, and how do you want people to view the Occupy Houston movement? Is it different from the larger movement?
How realistic is what?
How realistic is it to change the way society works with this movement?
Well, it's pretty realistic, and a lot of ways I believe we've kind of exemplified that just through the process that we use to make decisions. We don't have a hierarchical structure, which opens it up to where everybody can now be a leader and use their leadership skills to advance this movement as a whole. So it's very realistic, and it happens just about every one of our GAs when a proposal is put forth, and we decide collectively whether we're going to go forward with this or not.
What does GA mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the General Assembly.
Okay.
And these are the meetings that we do to sort of decide the direction of the entire movement.
What happens next for Occupy Houston? Now on Tranquility Park, does it mean that you are going to be out of sight, out of mind? What are you going to do from this point forward?
Well, this weekend, we're going to spend a whole lot of time figuring out precisely that. We've got a big meeting coming up on Sunday where we're going to kind of determine where do we want to go from here, right here in Houston.
What kind of sense do you get in terms of, do you get a sense from the groundswell about the group, people you talk to, about what kinds of things you might want to do going forward?
Well, there's a lot of different things that we've already begun to do going forward. We have access now to a television show that we now can do once a week, so we'll be taking advantage of that. Of course, the newspaper is still going to be going on. A lot of us have moved into Freedmanstown, which is a historic site here in Houston, and have worked to create sustainable living spaces, working to clean up the area. There was a landfill sort of situation at 1311 Ruthven, and a lot of us just put together our efforts to clean that up, and working with the city, that's finally been removed from that site, which was an eyesore for about maybe 2 years. So there's a lot of ways that we've already begun transitioning, and occupying foreclosed homes is another idea, mobile occupation is another idea.
Continue bank divestment?
Absolutely, which we did the day after we were evicted. And then yesterday, of course, we had the action over at El Paso, which was a dodgeball action, just to show the relationship that the 1% has with the 99%, to where they don't even have to pay taxes, whereas we have to pay taxes, and we'll go to jail if we don't.
We have a minute left, and so now when we talk about going forward, are you optimistic about your ability to change the way people focus on how society is running at this point?
I'm optimistic. I mean, the eviction, a lot of people thought we were going to shut down. I think that actually made our group a lot stronger, and moving forward, we're saying we're going to stick together, still reach out to the community, make them aware that we're still here. So like Amy was saying, is with our meeting on Sunday, I mean, I'm very optimistic of what is going to be the next phase for Occupy Houston.
All of you feel confident that this is something that is not in vain, that there's still got legs to this movement?
Absolutely. It's an evolving movement, and just about all the other occupiers have been kicked out and have gone through this process, and now it's our turn.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. Getting a little bit more clarity about what this Occupy Houston movement is all about. We'd be interested to know what happens later today after your meeting and talking about what's going forward. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
And we'll be back.